Randy Orton is a huge Elden Ring fan. Black Myth WuKong smashes all kinds of records, and Elden Ring gets sued. All that and more on this episode of SoulsBorne News. Black Myth WuKong has just launched, and oh my god, has it been taking the internet by storm. Look at this. 2,223,179 peak concurrent players on Steam. That is second all time, second only to PUBG, which has like 3 million something. Who knows if anything will ever catch that. And 4.5 million copies sold. This game is proving all the haters wrong. There was a little controversy surrounding it. There were some restrictions that the developers sent out to content creators that basically had some political bend to them. And also there was some speculation that the console performance was not going to be good because the reviewers didn't get their review copies until very late or the day of launch. So that led some to believe that maybe they were trying to hold those back to avoid negative reviews ahead of the launch. But regardless of all that, it is now out. The rumors have been put to rest. I played it on console. It ran smooth as butter. It's a tremendous game. If you have not played it or have not checked it out, watch the trailers. If you have the money, definitely go try it. It is a banger of a game. And congratulations to Game Science. They really did something here. There may be a shift coming to the free-to-play game market over in South Korea. In an article published on Game Developer, the headline reads, "Korean devs report a burst of interest in single-player console and PC games." So if you don't know, a good majority of the games produced out of South Korea are mobile free-to-play games. And so in this article, it lists out a couple games that are cited as causing the interest in maybe branching out of that into the single player market. And they are none other than Lies of P and Stellar Blade. So I thought this was just really interesting to see how Souls-like games, really popular ones like those two there, are causing shifts in different markets and causing people to rethink their way of doing things. Now, is it because they are Souls-like? No, not necessarily. It's not mentioned in this article any, at least. But they are high-quality games, and I think Souls-like games are so fun and engaging that it's easy for a lot of developers, or maybe not easy, but it's advantageous to developers to attempt them because when they're well done, they become very popular and they become very profitable. So it was an interesting article to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Randy Orton might have more time in Elden Ring than you do. In an interview over on the WWE's main YouTube channel, he sat down with Cody Rhodes and they began to talk about a lot of different things. But one of the things that they came across in the conversation was the topic of video games. And this was really interesting because, number one, people don't really think of big, athletic, strong, buff guys like Randy Orton as a gamer or playing video games at all. But not only does he play video games, the video game he did play was somewhat surprising, but also the amount of time he had in it. Randy Orton said that he has at least 600 hours in Elden Ring. Now, that is a little surprising, at least it was to me, but he did cite that part of the reason he had that much time in it was because he had a back injury at the time. So he had a lot of time where he had to basically just sit and rest, and he really enjoyed Elden Ring, so he just dumped a ton of time into it. But I thought it was an interesting thing, and it's cool to see a big public figure like that praising a Souls game. I'm all for it. Cenat has announced the next Souls game that he will do a marathon stream for, and it is none other than Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Now, he touts it as the hardest Souls game that there is, and that is a popular opinion. I'm not really on that train. In my opinion, Bloodborne is the hardest Souls game that there is, but to each their own. Nonetheless, it could be a very exciting stream. I know with his Bloodborne stream, as we talked about last time, there was some controversy about whether he cheesed it or not. We'll see how the Sekiro one goes, but still, to see Sekiro out in the limelight again, I'm very happy about that. Have you ever wished that you knew more about Elden Ring lore? Well, you are in luck, my friend. There is a 500-page book that the pre-orders have just gone up for, written by Jeff Smotown Truscott, called Grace Given, The Mythology of Elden Ring. Now, like I said, the pre-orders are live, at least at the moment of this recording. Now, I will warn you, this is a pretty pricey expense. The cheapest version on the pre-order website is $284, and they go all the way up to $1,135. So if you really love Elden Ring lore, or you're just really committed to learning more about it, you might want to check this website out. And of course, I will leave a link in the description. The success of Shadow of the Erdtree just keeps coming. In a post over on X by the user Ziostorm, he compiled a bunch of data from an article over on GameBiz, and you can see a bunch of these stats here. Take a look at this bottom one though. Net profit, 56.3% increase in quarterly profit from Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. I couldn't be more happy about this. I thought that Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree is the best DLC ever made, and I'm not just talking about Souls games. I'm talking about in the history of DLCs. To me, it was more like an Elden Ring 2 than an actual DLC. It was absolutely fantastic in my opinion. So to see the real life sales data reflecting that just makes me overjoyed. The popular streamer well known for his Elden Ring streams, Dr. Disrespect, may be making a return soon to the streaming scene. In a post over on X on August 14th, he posted, "Vacation is just too good right now. We'll be back soon though, champs. We have lots to talk about." And then he posted a couple weeks prior to that, this photo that you see in the background of him sitting at the table, basically implying that he is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Now, if you don't know, Dr. Disrespect basically admitted, although that post has been deleted suspiciously recently, that he engaged in messaging a minor inappropriately. Supposedly there were no nudes or anything like that sent, but he did admit to the tweet or the messages being inappropriate in nature. So I can't really get behind that. I don't plan on watching his streams when he comes back, but it is interesting because he's part of the Elden Ring community technically, and we'll see what comes out as far as evidence and what he has to say about the whole situation. He's in some pretty deep water right now, so he needs to do something. He needs to clarify some things, and he needs to make things right. I don't know really what happened, but once it's found out, there needs to be some reckoning. A gamer is suing FromSoft because Elden Ring is too hard. Yes, you heard that correctly. In an article on Inside Gaming, the headline reads, "Someone is suing FromSoft because Elden Ring is too hard." Supposedly, this court case is going to take place on September 25th. And in a statement made by the person who is suing, which I could not find out who it is, which is probably a good thing because honestly, when stuff like that comes out, people go crazy, people threaten people and all kinds of stuff like that. We don't want to see that. But in a statement made by this anonymous suer, he says, "My Elden Ring lawsuit claims we have only played half of From Software's games, and a whole new game is hidden inside, and that it's too hard to access for even its most dedicated fans." You heard it from him. You are not good enough to play all of Elden Ring. There's a whole game hidden inside of it, and you can't get to it. Never mind you've beat it. Never mind you're already Elden Lord. None of that matters. the game's too hard for him, so therefore it's too hard for everybody. I thought this was just ridiculous. It's actually funny, which is why I wanted to bring it up. It's funny to me that somebody would bring about a lawsuit because a video game is hard. Now, it is stated later on in the article that it is possibly satire, but from all accounts so far, it seems that this person might be actually serious. So we'll see what happens September 25th. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, but nevertheless, it's a good laugh. A new Souls-like was just announced, the Relic First Guardian. Obviously, this is just an announcement trailer, so we don't have a ton of things to go off of here, but it is a really interesting looking game. The gameplay looks awesome, the combat really cool. I have it on my radar. You might want to keep it on yours. And those are all the stories that I wanted to go over with you guys today. Please leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.